We just got back from the Great Lakes Fishing Expo.
And honestly, everybody was casting faith.
Man, which I needed that because these winter blues.
Yeah, it's not just you, though. It is the season.
You know, a lot of people are fighting it and they don't even realize it. But how to get through it? Faith and fellowship.
This episode is brought to you by Backbone Coffee and First Phorm.
Watch or listen.
Casting their faith to reach this world.
Of the word of faith, and God began to heal the people.
Said it's crazy that happened.
She looks like a moon. She looks like the moon. Is what she
Doesn't
said.
mean it's me. I'm just saying that's what she looked like.
Fish on. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Man, we're back.
We're back.
At it again in this January, wet, cold, wintry season.
Do you remember when you said Jabanuary?
Jabanuary.
I'm not going to forget that.
Jabanuary. Sometimes words are hard, man.
Words are hard.
Dude, it's so good to be back. We've had an amazing day.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good day. A really good day, actually.
Yeah. Man, it was so cool to meet with John last episode.
Yeah,
It was cool. We had a good time.
Cajun.
Such a good guest. Shout out to Gentry Miller. Love you, buddy. Anyways, it's a great day.
Yeah.
We did so much. Dude, I've been working so hard behind the scenes on different things and making sure certain things happen. And so today was just kind of a cool, it was a cool vibe. We just got to, it felt like a show day, you know?
It did. It was a lot of fun. First one of these we did when we went to the Great Lakes Fishing Expo in Girard, Ohio this morning, just to kind of go out and have a little casting faith day.
Mm-hmm.
Sean joined us. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But met a lot of cool people today,
Yeah, dude. It was so cool. So if you're not sure what that is, that's like a fishing, it's kind of in the words in the title, but it's a fishing expo. And it's not too far away from us. And we decided today that we were just going to go and go network and meet with a bunch of people. And it was cool to see so many people. There was probably hundreds of people there.
Yeah, definitely.
And man, everybody was so friendly and kind. And a lot of the vendors we got to hang out with and talk with. And it was just a good time. And man, I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed it today. I've been working hard a lot. And, getting through these holiday lulls as a teacher, that season's like a longer than
It's a
most
weird
people.
one for you guys.
Yeah, it's like winter break when you're a kid, you get that as an adult too, and so it's like a big lull. And I spent it, half of it I was sick,
Yeah.
and then the other half I spent working on the podcast, on ministry stuff and different things. And so like I've spent a lot of time in bed or sitting at a desk studying, and man, we've talked about this in episodes before, but in Northeast Ohio, we get some of the most cloud coverage in the nation, if not the world.
Yeah, and we felt it this past week for sure.
Oh, bro. And it's weird because, like, December, we had, like, massive snowstorms.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy December, which is usually light and kind of more like a fall vibe than it is,
Right.
a deep winter. And then it's January 10th is the time we're recording this.
Yeah.
And dude, it's like spring outside right now.
Yeah, it's weird. Yesterday specifically, it got up to around 60 degrees. But then I woke up this morning and the temperature read 36. So it's kind of back to reality. But it has been kind of cool and rainy the past couple of days, as opposed to, like you said, the snow that we had.
Yeah.
Typically January is where we start getting that heavy snow and bitter cold. So it's been weird.
Yeah. So just as we get over being sick, the weather's going to do like, back and forth. And
Ohio gonna Ohio.
Dang, man. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Here's norovirus. Here's strep throat. Here's now you're going to have.
And my house has dealt with both of those in the same week.
Ugh.
So
tough. But anyways, it gets to you, like you're doing all the things right. I don't say this to boast or anything, but I was looking at my Bible app. The end of the year happens, New Year's happens, all the fun and festivities. But that, how you get like notifications from everything that you do telling you, this was your year, this was your year, this was your year. Like even ChatGPT was like, hey, this was what you did this year. And the Bible app did that for me. And it said that this was my 7th year in a row completing the whole Bible in a year.
that's awesome.
And, I don't say that boastfully, I'm saying this simply, and they're not a paid sponsor whatsoever, but the YouVersion Bible app makes it so easy. If you struggle reading the Bible, it literally will read it to you. Like on your way to work, you can listen to a chapter or two of the Bible. If you do that for like, your commute every day, you're going to listen to the Bible in a year. And so for those of you who think that that's like a hard thing to do, it's very, very much achievable. And so I just thought it was cool. It was like 7 years in a row of reading the Bible straight through. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, but it's not impossible. So like for those of you out there that maybe struggle with reading the Word, get into it that way. It's super practical, and so that's free. You guys do that. It was awesome to see that. And then like chat was giving me a year in review. All the things was giving me a rear end review. No, a year end review. Words are hard. But it was all kind of just recapping, and you look at these things and it makes you reflect on how your year went and all the things that came with it. But that and a combination of the weather change, it gets emotional, man.
Yeah.
And I was feeling that a lot lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the weather change can be hard. I know we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but seasonal depression's real, man. It hits. It hits, and it's hard to get out of. It's a funk that you kind of put yourself in too, because you don't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
I kind of dealt with it for the first time 6 years ago at this point, and I did not understand why I felt so tired, why I didn't want to do anything, and it's weird how the lack of sunlight really has an effect on you.
Yeah, I think like I've always kind of known this about me, and I think last episode we talked about like my social battery and how it kind of like drains, and it was weird. Like it didn't today. I was in a room full of hundreds of people, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I was with my closest friends, so it's probably had to do with that.
Right. We were also kind of
networking
and talking about something that we love.
Yeah.
So that makes it kind of easy. And that's another reason today was cool, though, is because it was a nice taste of fishing season again.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of just on the tail end of steelhead season, right before it starts picking back up again for the spring run of steelhead, but kind of getting a feel again for bass fishing, crappie, the kind of fishing that we like to do in the summertime. So getting to talk with a lot of really cool people, meet some cool people. Got to see my wife's stepdad. And Jeff Swanson, he'll come on the show here soon. Yeah. Introduced us to a few fishing pros, and shout out a couple of people we met today.
Yeah. Yeah. So this fishing expo was a first for me, really. I don't think I've ever been to one. I've been fishing my whole life. And when I say that, I don't mean like pro style, but I mean like, in the sense that, my granddad taught me, my uncle taught me, my dad taught me things, and it was always just a cheaper pastime, you know what I mean? And so I fell in love with it when I was young, and it started with bluegill fishing with bobbers and maggots or worms or something like that. And then that evolved when me and you have been friends my whole life. When we got into be teenagers, we would go out all night and we would catfish. We would get the pole holder, stick it in the ground, and we'd have the bell on the thing, and we would stay up all night talking, and just sharing that moment, that season, was a great bond for me and you and a few of our other close friends. It was a time where faith, because we all have the same faith, and outdoors and that hobby really became a core thing for us. Yeah. And so I love fishing, but I've never been to an expo. And so we went to this one, which is it's a decent one. It's not some, hole in the wall thing. But it was a good time. And we went in, we were just we brought some like Cast in Faith touch cards to hand out, and just try to connect with people that, would love this show. And immediately, walking in, we pay, we get in. Immediately we go to a booth, and they're like, it's a vendor booth, and they're like, wait, you're a podcast?
Yeah.
And it was just like they noticed right away, and we connected with them, and help me out here. It was the
Ohio State Bass Fishing Club.
Yeah.
So that was really cool for me as a big Buckeyes fan, and I got the
they're
decal Ohio State Bass Fishing on my my computer now. Go Bucks.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. Just to connect with those guys. and for them to kind of notice. And I speak for myself, but I think felt the same way as well. You walk in and you kind of feel at home.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about the podcast that came up a couple times. Of course, we're wearing our Casting Faith gear.
Mhm.
And we always, we're a faith-based outdoors podcast. And the amount of people that kind of just lit up when we said we're faith-based. And I know a couple people said, man, that's what we need.
Yeah.
And it's just encouraging. It's good to feel that.
Yeah, dude. And it was so the Buckeye Boys. I don't know. That's what I'm going to call them. It's probably not what they're going to call themselves, but I'm going to call them the Buckeye Boys. I know Sean's fished in the same tournament as them before, but they were so cool, younger guys, and immediately it was the same thing. Okay, everybody kind of understands the title "Casting Faith." When you go fishing, that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're hoping that you're going to catch something.
Yeah.
You're casting it out there to hope that you're going to land something. And so it kind of works both ways. But the minute I said, that's awesome. What you talk about? Obviously, he said, obviously scripture, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, but also this, and this. And you could just see the expression on his face was like, wow, I didn't realize something like that existed. And it was cool. It was cool to connect with them. And that was kind of the tone the whole day.
Absolutely.
Every booth that we went to, all the vendors, that's what it was. It was, this is who we are. And then their expression was, wow, we need that.
Yeah.
And that's our people. That's our community. And so it was cool to connect with them in real life and not just, through shorts or clips or whatever. And so it was a fun time, man. I really did have a good time.
Yeah.
Also listening to Steelhead Alley Outfitters presentation on steelhead was very informative. I would consider myself probably still a rookie.
Yeah.
With fishing for steelhead. We talk about it so much.
So much I don't know.
And then listening to that, it was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I've been successful. So I would consider myself successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of our listeners are laughing right now because I went on a 6-week skid. I would still consider I've caught many steelhead. I've caught more than 20 steelhead in my life. So it's like, okay, well, I know kind of what I'm doing. But then listening to this outfitter, I'm like, yeah, I know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. And so, but it was cool because we connected with him afterwards, and he's gonna come on the show at some point this year. So that'll be fun and really
super nice guy.
Just a great guy, faith-based. He talked about it a lot.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, shares the same passion for what we do. Just kind of sharing the word of God and enjoying God's creation.
Yeah. And he was just so forward with that. And, we might not be the same denomination or whatever, but we serve the same God.
Absolutely.
And so it's cool. It's cool that there are a lot of anglers out there, who live for the Lord and try to have a relationship with God and nature. And that's kind of what we're all about. And so it's going to be cool to have him on, and maybe he can educate us further with steelhead and, lead us into more success,
Right.
And to you guys too. I know we got a lot of listeners. Brother Troy Brown is going to get on some steelhead next year. So that episode will be good for you to actually hear some professionals talk about it.
When we were sitting there talking, and it was really cool at their booth. They had a guy live tying steelhead flies. So that was neat to see. And he a master at his craft, and we're talking about it. And he goes, oh yeah, and I posted a picture the other day of fish I caught on the Rocky River.
Yeah,
not the Grand, not the Chagrin, the Rocky River. And little inside joke because the Rockies kind of been dead. And the other rivers are where it's at. But to throw people off. The
In
track.
other words, get out of my spot.
Yeah,
but we've been fishing that spot for 4 years.
Right.
We've actually fished with him on the same river multiple times, so it was just funny. Well, not with him, but on the same river at the same time. But yeah, dude, it was so cool. These people are so great, and that was the experience every time. We actually met with a beef jerky vendor from Pennsylvania, and
hillbilly jerky.
Yeah, it was good.
It was.
It was so good. We bought a bag or two of that, and we just got to talking with them, and we're like, yeah, how long you been doing this? And they told me it was a family business. It's been going on for like 30 years, and they changed the name, and they're at the expo. They're traveling around. And so we'll put a link or something for you to go check them out. But they, they took one of our cards, and as soon as we said faith-based, they were like, "Yep, that's what we need." And they're a little bit older than us, but it's like, man, that is what this world needs. We need to keep God at the center of things.
And it was amazing how many people, as well, when we said faith-based, hey, I've been looking for something like that. I have this connection in my church, or my dad's a youth pastor, my grandpa's a pastor, that type of thing. How many people said stuff like that we need something like what you're doing?
Yeah. And so
shout out to Kyler with 330 Bait Company as well.
yeah.
Awesome to meet them. Him and the group there making baits here locally. Found out they're like our neighbors, so
Right
that
next
was cool.
door. Yeah.
Fished against Sean and Charlie in a tournament. It's funny
Beat us thoroughly.
But,
It's my fault though. Don't worry.
Sean immediately, as we got to the studio today, sent us a picture of them next to Charlie and Sean at the tournament in a post on Facebook. So that was just really cool and coincidental to see.
Got my PB 1.5 pound smallmouth. Just kidding. Oh, but yeah, it was not a great day for me. I caught the limit though, so that was cool. But yeah, no, it was fun. Those guys are great, and it was funny because I'm like talking to the guys, and I was like, "Yeah, you weighed our fish, right?
Yeah.
You weighed that 2-pound whopper," and everybody just started cackling because it's like that's horrible,
right,
for a tournament. But it was fun. Like again, a lot of firsts this past year for me, like first tournaments, first expos. We'd love to get into more of that, and we'd love to have those guys on too, just to talk through, this area.
Yeah.
We'd love to get their ideas on Mogador and all the high strangeness because they fish that.
They fish it a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we ran into my wife's stepdad, Jeff Swanson, and he's a rep for Pure Fishing. He got to introduce us to a few pro fishermen. A couple of them probably going to come on the show. Shout out to the guys from Pure Fishing. Shout out to Destin Demarion. Yeah. Great guy. Found out he's run through Fisherman Central, which is right in New Franklin, where Charlie lives, where I grew up. A lot of connections there. So we were talking through Portage Lakes, Nemesillo Reservoir, Mogador Reservoir with them. Possibly have him on the show soon as well.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Yeah.
Just, man, and down to earth. These guys are like literally pro fishermen. And he was talking about his friends in Canada and all the trips that he does. And, he took 10 minutes out of his day just to talk to us about our show and possibly, coming on the show and doing different things. And that collaboration, man.
Yeah.
That's so important. And that
being around like-minded people
does so much for you.
Yeah.
Even, me and you go back, a lifetime at this point. And days like today, and Sean would say the same thing if he was here, when you're going through low moments or you're going through seasonal moments, which most people are right now. And, statistically, a lot of people deal with seasonal depression, or, a lot of people are in transition seasons, or a lot of people are waiting for the spring to come. A lot of people hate the winter, for all real valid reasons. I like 4 seasons. But I
could go with 3,
but I go through these moments where it just feels like, man, and it feels low. But when you get around people that, like the people that we got around today, and when you spend times with your brothers,
it re-energizes.
It just gives you energy, and it brings you out of that funk. And so, to anybody dealing with that, there's a path, through it, not out of it. Like you're gonna go through it, but there's paths out,
right?
And so, I experienced that personally today. It was just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Neither one of us are like medical professionals either in any way. But the whole seasonal depression thing, it is a real thing that a lot of people deal with. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of shed some light on it. Excuse me. Kind of get into it. The seasonal depression thing. It's around that time of the year that starts happening to a lot of people, where it feels like, bro, for days you don't see the sun. And I don't think we realize how much the sun affects our mood and our health. I know this week I looked outside and it was warmer, but I looked outside my office window, and I don't think I saw the sun for 2 days. It was gray and overcast. Like, obviously the sky's lit up, but so overcast and dark out all day long. And the days are shorter. You seem like you go into work and it's dark out. You leave work and it's dark out. You wake up and you do it again. You don't get any sunlight, and that really messes with you.
Bro, that's my like daily. So I get up. So, you guys know I'm a teacher, but I also help with our school aftercare and before care program. And so my day, I wake up at 5 o'clock every day. And what I do is I start immediately, like I do my devotion, I pray, I get my coffee, my Backbone coffee brewing through my Breville Bambino, baby. Best Christmas present ever. But I get a latte going, I get the word going, I start my day that way. And I right after that, I start working on the podcast, whether it's clipping, scheduling, planning, that kind of stuff. And then I head into work, and my actual shift starts at 7:00. And but when I'm driving, it's dark out.
Yeah.
And usually now during these months, it's dark and it's rainy, or it's dark and it's snowy, or I had to get up extra early and shovel the driveway that is 40 feet long for me, and I don't have a snow blower or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like I'm shoveling the driveway at 4:30 in the morning. You know, it looks like that. And then by the time that I leave work, because of the other things that I'm involved with, I'm usually leaving at like 5:00 or 4:00, 4:30. And by the time I get home, I look out the window and it's dark again.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you know, like wake up in darkness, spend the whole day inside, and then look outside and it's dark again. And it's like, man, I need outside so bad.
Yeah.
And I don't have it right now. So it struggles.
I think everybody does something outside, whether you realize it or not, even if it's going running errands, going to the farmer's market, whatever. You do a lot outside, and when that's taken away from you, it's hard. And for people like us, we spend a lot of time outside in the spring, the summer, and the fall months. So when that time outside, that vitamin D is taken away from us, you got to make sure you have a supplement for that as well. And I'm not trying to go into an ad. Everybody's saying he's going to read a first format here.
You're right.
No, I'm. It's important to make sure that you, bro, I just spit at the camera big time. It's
Splash
important that you have that vitamin D supplement, because your body needs it, man. And if not, you do fall into that seasonal depression. I kind of, like I said, fell into that about 6 years ago at this point. I was working at a funeral home, and that can be heavy to begin with. But
yeah.
Man, I remember stepping out my office and just thinking, man, I don't have any energy to do anything.
Man,
I don't want to,
real.
like, I want to just go home and go to bed. And that was like a week straight. And finally I started looking at, and I told my wife, I said, Britt, I think I have seasonal depression right now. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to sleep. I couldn't concentrate, didn't want to be around people. All the classic signs of it. And it's important to break out of that. It really is. And and one way to do that is through that vitamin D supplement.
Yeah. And a lot of it too that's helped me in the past. And I say this coming from a standpoint of I'm with all of you right now who are starting over. All of our friends right now have talked about how they're sore again because they went to the gym for the first time in a year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with you all. Like, we're all in this together trying to better ourselves. Now, I lift and I run more frequently than most do, but I'm on a skid, like a bad one.
Yeah, same.
Like a 6 months of, doing things differently, and because of life. And so I'm getting back on the treadmill. I'm getting back on the wheel again. I'm getting back to lifting and doing all of these things just like everybody else. But that helps so much personally.
Absolutely.
And again, we're not doctors, if you need extra help, get your help,
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying some tips and tricks that help me.
And that's something
personally.
I do want to kind of get on a soapbox for a minute. You're not less of a man or less of a person for looking for help.
And you don't have less faith either. I
Right.
feel like that's important to say.
God put doctors in our life for a reason.
Amen.
And if you need help, go get help.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to think anything less of you. It doesn't mean you're less of a man, less of a person, less of a woman, whatever. Sometimes you just need help.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to talk through stuff with people, and that's okay.
Yeah, and you don't have to be ashamed of it. And if you are, and take steps in that. Talk to a friend.
Yeah.
Confide in somebody first,
Don't isolate yourself.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because the last episode was like isolate yourself. That's good, but like
in a different way.
In a different way, and have context with that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's no shame to ask for help. But something that's helped us, you know, me personally, and I know you from talking to you and most of the people out there, something that can really pull you out of that, you know, in addition to your prayer life and into reading, and we talked about that briefly earlier, reading the word and praying and getting your spiritual self right, is to get your physical self right and do some exercise. Start somewhere, you know, run a little, walk, get your 10,000 steps in. That's a great first step, you know, but also vitamins. You know, we love the protein powders. We love the energy drinks. We love, you know, all the beef sticks and all the fun stuff we like, you know, but there's something to be said about vitamins. Most of the planet is deficient in every vitamin,
especially here in the United States.
You know, and once you compound that with the diets that most Americans have, we are neutrally deficient in every area.
Yeah.
Which means even if you take a multivitamin, you're supplementing.
You're probably still lacking.
Yeah, you're supplementing a deficiency. So whenever you see on your multivitamin, you got 100% of vitamin D. Hey, that's great for somebody who's just working to baseline or working from baseline, but none of us are at baseline. So you need more in addition to your basic multivitamin. And so one of the things that helps with this lack of sunlight and stuff is vitamin D3. And there's a supplement that our affiliate partner, you know, has, which we talk about them all the time, Phorm. It's called liposomal vitamin D3. And this is not an ad read. It just goes along with what we're talking about today. It's vitamin D that has maximum absorption rate. And so this vitamin D is crucial for so many things. It works for your immune functions, your bone health, your overall wellness. But most people don't get enough of this from sunlight and diet alone, which is what we're talking about today. But absorbing it can also be a challenge. So like a standard vitamin D3 pill, your body can only break down so much of that. What Phorm has done is they've created a vitamin D that is easily absorbable. And so we've hit on it multiple times. Diet is a problem. Sunlight is a problem. A product like this will help. It won't cure you, but it will help so much with getting back to basic. And so liposomal D3 by Phorm.
Get you some.
You should get some. I'm going to get me some. Yeah. You guys should get you some. Go to firstform.com/castingfaith, and it will help you in this journey to wellness. It improves so much, like the vitamin itself, immune function, bone health, nutrients, absorption, and overall wellness. And it'll just help you feel better during these rough seasons.
Yeah, and it's easy to talk about this time of the year when everybody's doing the whole, go back to a few episodes ago, the New Year, New You thing. But fitness, just being active in the winter months, especially here in the northeast part of Ohio and the northeastern part of the country, it can be hard to get motivated to go and exercise because we can't be outside. Yeah. I know a lot of like my exercising. I love doing yard work. Yeah. I'm that typical mid-30s dad that likes to go out and mow his grass. Like I enjoy that. I look forward to that. And that's good exercise. You're pushing a lawnmower, you're out in the heat, sweating. It's good exercise. Mm-hmm. But when it's snowy and cold out, go ahead.
Sorry, shout out to that fishing noob Travis. Yeah, that's like all he does listening. He listens to our whole show while he's mowing.
I love it.
And dude is fit, man. Yeah, like he was doing muscle ups and all kinds of things, man. And so, right down his alley, dude. That's how he does it. Maybe I'm sure he lifts weights and runs and exercises too. But like a lot of that's practical fitness,
right?
We glorify, PBs and max bench and max this and max that.
It's the little stuff. It's the
functional
reps in between. Yeah. But in these winter months, it can be hard to get that functional fitness in. Yeah. And to have that motivation to go in to exercise, to get on the treadmill when it's cold out, when it's -10 outside, you can get on the treadmill or you can lift weights. Everybody can do something. Yeah. Even if it's just making sure you hit your step count each day. Be active. That helps with the whole seasonal depression thing too. And you're not going to want to do it. That's another thing.
It stinks too. And these guys are not a sponsor, but I love Fitbit. Mm-hmm. It helps so much track those little wins. Yeah. And, this is an awesome thing. This isn't a bad thing. It's going to sound funny coming out. But when I baptized my daughter, I forgot to take off my Fitbit and it died. bad. Like, I think it was a combination of the heated water and the chlorine or whatever it was, and it would not turn back on.
Yeah,
and
but
so I'm now in the market for a new tracking device, because I used it to track my sleep, to track all the things. It was connected to my diet app and all the different things that I used in the past. But like I said, I've been off for a while now, and it's time to get back on the tracks.
Yeah.
And not new you, new me, just same me doing what me needs to do, you know? And I think that's important. And man, it's just one of those things where, like, you don't even need to choose isolation in the winter. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
In the environment.
But there's ways to fight
changes
it, though.
you,
And that's
you
what
know?
we're getting at here is with your health, with exercise, with supplementing that vitamin D. Another one, and this is big for our generation, is a sleep schedule.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in a sleep schedule when you have kids.
Yeah.
You have kids, you work a job. And I know, at least I can speak to me and my wife, we love our kids very much. And I know you guys do. You love your girls very much as well.
100%.
But man, when bedtime hits and you get that little bit of time to sit down, sit back, relax with your wife, relax with your spouse, ladies. And man, you look forward to it.
Yeah.
And
It just seems
what
like
do we end up doing, though, is we end up staring at a screen.
Yeah, you end up
doom scrolling on our phone.
This is what you do.
And
all
that's
day.
the kind of stuff that messes with you with the seasonal depression stuff as well. So I'm not saying, like, we all do it. We
Yeah.
all watch TV. We all scroll
100%.
videos. I send reels to Charlie all day. He sends them right back. Like, it happens. But limit that. Set a schedule for yourself and try to form some sort of sleep schedule. Sleep is so important. And that's another way to fight this seasonal depression.
Yeah, and there's this one thing, again, not a sponsor, but there's this app, I think it's called Rise. We haven't really searched them up too much, and I haven't used it yet, but it's supposed to give you your ideal sleep schedule. And so it's not the same for everybody. So you got to figure that out for you. Some people can handle going to bed at 11:30 and getting up at 4. Some people can handle going to bed at 9 and getting up, at 8. Like, it's weird. Like, some people need more. They recommend 8 hours of sleep and different things like that. Which is interesting, dude. Gonna tailspin into something else, but did you see the recommendations that are starting to change?
Yeah, a lot of
like. Do you remember the food pyramid?
Yeah,
like our whole lives we've been eating one way, and not to get political or anything, but they literally flipped the pyramid upside down, and so.
But it makes sense.
It
what they're
does,
doing.
Based on every diet that I've done that worked for me. It would be more closely following the new way.
Who would have thought you want to limit carbs?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, but wait, before we get into this, I do think it with the seasonal depression stuff, there's 2 more things that are really important that I do want to hit real quick. We're trying to give you guys some tools to combat stuff that we fight as well.
Yeah.
2 more things that I do want to say. It's really easy when you slip into that seasonal depression to isolate yourself. And we have said this ad nauseum. It is important to rely on your friend group.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in a hole. Yeah. You have brothers, you have sisters, you have family, you have friends that you can put around you to help pull you out of that hole as well. Yeah. Don't isolate, socialize. And that's coming from a person that I'm not huge on socializing. Yeah. But it's important to have a
little bit of one of them mountain hermits, you know what I mean? He just
I'm up in the Bulgarian mountains.
Just by himself for 17 years. And then I come and be like,
Hey, but one of the things that I realized when I was going through that 6 years ago at this point, when the first time I realized that seasonal depression is a real thing, is I need people.
Yeah.
I need people, even if it's just a brother. My wife, I need to be around people.
Yeah.
But the other thing, and I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't mention this, it's important to have a routine of prayer as well.
100%.
That spiritual time that you spend alone with God is going to benefit you in that season as well.
Yeah. It all works together. It's funny. The Bible is this blueprint for life.
Right.
And, it talks about reading your word. It talks about, hiding the word in your heart. It talks about fellowship and how that's biblical and it's even spiritual. And it talks about how it's not good for me to be alone. And it talks about all of these things. Yeah. And, if again, not on my high horse here, but if you just read it, it'll do a wonder for you. Absolutely. And if you just live those words, man, it makes you have a blessed, fulfilled life.
Right.
Not to say things bad won't happen or that you won't feel
life's
low.
Going to happen.
You're going to have low moments, you know? And we all been there and we all go through it. But you should lean on these things. These are just practical things to help you through these seasons. I know because I go through it. You go through it.
Yeah.
We have some friends, that are going through some of the toughest times of their life right now, the toughest seasons of their life, and they're coming out of it, and that's where they're at. But man, don't be ashamed to be like, hey man, I need to go have lunch today.
Yeah.
Or like, can we get together and do this or do that? I just would like to have some company. We need to talk through. I need to talk through some of the things I'm going through. There's no shame in that. You don't have to say all your dirty laundry or do anything like that.
No.
But you can just have that proximity, to faith-filled people does a wonder for your circumstances. And we felt that today at the Fishing Expo. Is even though it wasn't church, nothing can substitute your church, your pastor, your congregation that you're a part of. Nothing can substitute that. But there's something incredible to be around like-minded people and in a community that is thoughtful and caring.
Yeah.
And so that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that, we say this all the time too. You can have that. You need to find that. And,
Absolutely.
Whether it's the fishing community or your church community, you need a community of people that are supportive and bettering you.
Right.
Especially if you want to hit some of these goals that we've all planned out this year.
Yeah.
And so you want to just encourage people today, and saying these things that, what you're feeling is normal and people go through it, but there are ways to overcome it. And, there are, and if those ways don't work, get your help,
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
We talk a lot about, on this podcast specifically, your spiritual health and your physical health, because those are huge aspects of our life. But one thing that I think men in general, males, we struggle with talking about is mental health. And that can hurt a lot of people if you don't take care of it.
Yeah.
And not just you, it hurts those around you. So I think that is very important that we talk about that from time to time.
Yeah.
But hey, man, getting back to the regulatory changes that are going down now.
Insane.
Like you said, they flipped the
food
food
pyramid.
pyramid upside down, literally.
I'll throw up a picture. Yeah, dude, it's cool. Like, I hate to say it's cool, but like it just confirms like all the frustrations that all the people in the fitness industry have been saying for years.
Yeah.
Yes, you need carbs, but you don't need mostly carbs.
Right.
Like that's what it was the whole time.
I remember hearing, and I don't remember where I heard it from, but I remember hearing at one point that Lucky Charms were a good part of the food pyramid.
Yeah.
Like, I love me some Lucky Charms. I had a bowl last night, but that's not healthy food. Like, that's not a substitute for good food in your life. So hearing this, seeing this, it was really cool to understand that, hey, the government's getting behind understanding why the American people are struggling in so many avenues of health. But it wasn't just that, man. Did you see they changed the vaccine schedule from 72 recommended vaccines down to 11?
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Before we get into this, we got an ad. Don't go anywhere.
First Phorm, Formula One, Clear, Rainbow, Sherbet.
No, man. It's Sherbert. Two R's and a T. Everyone knows that.
No, there's only one R and one T, dude.
Bro, don't mess with me. I remember the T. I grew up. I knew that I had sherbet flavored push pops.
Well, it's the Mandela effect where even your protein powder is rewriting history.
Well, whatever timeline you're in, it's delicious.
Light, smooth, 20 grams of fast digesting protein.
Call it whatever you want. It tastes amazing.
First Phorm, Formula One, Clear Sherbet.
2 R's, no T. Full recovery.
Fuel the grind, recover right.
Get you some.
Creatine. Formula One, Clear Protein. Creatine.
Taste the brain. That's illegal. I can't say that. And we're back. Sorry, guys. Something crazy happened. We were talking about how the food pyramid changed, and I was trying to do a quick search on ChatGPT about this, and it's like gaslighting me right now. And so I had to verify some things before we got into this too much, because I don't want to say like false information. But 100% ChatGPT is gaslighting me to think that this didn't just happen. And sometimes this happens with politically charged things. And to be clear on all this, we're not trying to get political. But they did make some changes recently with the food pyramid. And it's just interesting
Hey,
because
bro,
our
it
whole
didn't
life.
do that to me.
Oh, what in the world is happening? See this? This is crazy. Anyways, it's apologizing to me right now, but
Because he called it out.
unbelievable.
Put chat in
dude.
its place.
Since January 7th, new federal dietary guidelines rolled out that revives an inverted food pyramid, and it's widely described in the news recently. And so sometimes chat has a problem with recent news, and it gets confused because it doesn't, I don't know, there's things behind it. I don't know, politically wise. But anyways, it's just interesting that they changed the food pyramid. So basically all of the grains that used to be the foundation is now not the foundation. It's the least amount that you should have.
Yeah.
And all of the meats and the proteins and stuff is the base. So it's the solid thing, which is kind of like, paleo or keto or some of these low carb diets that have been going on for years and years and years. I'm not saying no carbs. You should have carbs, and it's important to have the right kind of carbs. And again, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but the information that nutritionists have been working off of since 1990 something just got flipped on its head,
Yeah.
which is wild.
I think rightfully so, though.
Yeah. I mean, we're the most obese country
Right.
in the planet.
And I had brought up,
It's crazy to say this, and I may pull this later, but we're the only country in the world where the poor people are fat. I'm probably going to cut that. But it's crazy when I'm going to cut that.
I'll just go into what I was saying. So
40 seconds.
So I had mentioned as well before the break that there was a change to the vaccine schedule as well. Now, I'm not anti-vaccine by any means. I think it's really cool that we're starting to pay attention as a country to our health.
Yeah.
And maybe there's connections between different things. And again, I'm not saying vaccines are bad by any mean. What I'm saying though is I think it's good
you
that
are.
I think it's good that we're looking into things.
Just kidding.
I think that it's good that we're talking about things. We're not just, okay, here's the rules, follow them. We're looking into things. And I think that's great.
Well, with diets specifically, there are so many ways to do it right.
Yeah.
And it's an individual thing that you have to figure out for yourself. Keto could work for me, but it could ruin you.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's body's different.
Everybody's different. And it's the same with the sleep schedule thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing. There's more than one right way in this area. You know how there's one way to God, and one way to truth and all the things like that. We know that we're really, in tune with our relationship with God and our beliefs. We're solidified in that.
Yeah.
But to health and fitness, there's way more than one way to do it right.
Yeah.
And so what doesn't work for you might work for me. What works for me
Right.
might not work for you. It might work for you. The important thing is to try and figure out what works for you. And, but the fact that the basic guidelines have been completely changed overnight,
literally flipped upside down.
it's how were we that? If it is all correct, the new way,
Yeah.
which is a statement.
I mean, it seems
It's a statement. I'm more inclined to believe in the new way than I am the old way.
Yeah.
But if it's all true, then for my whole life, we've been encouraged to do the wrong thing.
yeah.
So I just think that's crazy.
Nuts.
It's just a wild thing that
It
came out
is.
this week. And pretty wild, man. It's the point is, this is not nutrition advice. It's not political. It's not,
No.
this is just all the things, I'm not trying to get political or anything.
I think that it's important to note with the politics things.
when
We're Americans.
yeah. And
the left wing, the right wing, we're the same bird.
yeah. Dude,
What's
this
best
is,
for our country is what we want.
yeah, and this is one of those things where no matter what you say, somebody's going to hate you for it,
Yeah.
and somebody's going to love you for it. From a podcast standpoint, we love everybody,
Yeah.
and we want to make sure everybody feels welcome here. And so we don't want to say anything that's going to ruin your day or anything like that. Our whole point is to have fun and faith in everyday life. And so, but we will talk about current events and we will talk about political events and things that happen. Just know that none of it, if we offend you, we're sorry. And if we ever say something that is wrong, feel free to shout us out in the comment and say, hey, you guys might be wrong here. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But the important thing is to know is we're never saying anything out of hate or in a way that is trying to, demean anybody.
Right.
But it's just wild because the point of this topic of conversation right now is that, nutrition advice, political, scientific, cultural, all at once just keeps changing.
Yeah.
The goalpost shifts all the time. And it's wild because it's like, man, like this is something we should all just be able to agree upon.
Right.
What is good and what isn't good. So that's all. And it all ties into what you eat affects who you are. It affects how you feel.
Yeah.
What you're doing in everyday life affects you. And so
How you're fueling your body, going back to the seasonal depression thing, how you're fueling your body is going to affect your mind and what you do throughout the day. If you're only eating carbs, you're not going to get up and exercise. I don't know about you, but when I eat, my wife made a amazing lasagna this week. Mm-hmm. But after I ate it, I'm like, babe, let's just sit and watch TV the rest of the night.
It's just like, it's kind of like eating glue.
Right.
Man, we had the same thing. We had a spaghetti bake this week, and it was a spaghetti casserole type thing with pepperoni and mozzarella cheese on top.
Stuff.
And sauce. And it was delicious. And it felt like...
But when you eat those carbs...
you just like swell up.
Yep.
Like I got swollen and I just wanted to just lounge. And it was like a continuation of the winter thing.
But pasta's good.
It's so good. But did you know like pasta's different in other parts of the world? Like the grains are different. Gary Brecka, he's a guy that you could listen to and take nutrition advice from. Shout out to Gary Brecka and the 10X Health System. Again, not a sponsor, just some very, motivational and has changed so many lives through the power of diet and all these things. But he talks about that and how enriched grains is really just a folate. You've heard of folic acid. It's a synthetic folic acid. And like 80% plus of people on the planet can't digest this synthetic form that's labeled as enriched grains on everything that we buy in the store.
If you're not digesting it, then that just sits
and
in
it
your
causes
body.
so much to go wrong. And there is a natural folate that you can take and supplement that is digestible to us. And we've gotten so far away from that. And this is the cause of a lot of, medical issues, a lot of the seasonal depression, a lot of these thyroid. My wife struggles with thyroid issues. My brother-in-law struggles with it. My mother-in-law, I'm getting tested for thyroid issues soon. Personal update there. But what it does, it just makes you feel lethargic and like you can't move or do anything. Sounds like what we're talking about today.
Right.
Not saying that that's the end all be all, but like,
no, but what you eat matters.
It
what
matters.
you consume, the fuel that you're giving your body matters.
Yeah. And so, Gary Brecka does, has this, a solution to that,
Yeah.
And so, and he talks a lot about, getting the sunlight and, eating healthier and getting the right supplementation and working through all these things to better yourself. And so, I don't know, man, it's just weird. I was dead on with it since 1992. The original food guide pyramid was introduced. That was the year I was born. So 33 years later, and in fairness, in 2005, the My Plate update happened. And then in 2011, the pyramid was replaced altogether with My Plate. But it was the same kind of concept, And then all of a sudden, now January 7th,
I've never heard of this My Plate thing.
2026 happened. The nutritional guidelines changes issued under RFK's leadership to bring back the pyramid graphic with a better format, according to him. And so, I don't know. It's very interesting. Very interesting stuff, man. A lot is changing.
Yeah.
And, dude, it's one of those things where we deal with all these things come down to like what you're ingesting and who you're hanging out with and how you're maneuvering and managing your life. And, man, it's just some ways through it. Diet and exercise helps a ton. And so does fellowship in your faith. It just gets you through it. You know what I mean?
Well, right now, with it being mid-January, and as outdoorsmen, this is a time of year where we reset.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for everybody, whether you're a fisherman, a hunter, somebody that just gets out and mows the grass, a dad, a mom, whoever listening to this podcast. Take time to assess yourself.
Yeah.
And make sure that you are taking care of your mental well-being, your physical well-being, and your spiritual well-being. This is a great time to check in on all that stuff and set a plan for the year.
Yeah.
Going forward, that you are going to take care of you.
Yeah. Heavy seasons don't mean that God is distant. And, that's a big part of it. A lot of times we talked about this a little bit last episode. A lot of times when you are going through seasons like this, it's not always a terrible thing. It's not always because something you've done wrong. We talked about how Jesus was led into the wilderness by the Spirit last week. And man, sometimes when everything slows down like it does in the winter seasons, it gives us time to reflect. And when we're reflecting, a lot of times we're confronted with the worst parts about ourselves and we have to deal with it. And 90% of the time, we just kind of bottled it in and we just kind of lived with it and we pushed it to the back of our minds. And then when it gets quiet, that all comes creeping forward and you have to deal with it. And so heavy seasons like this, it's important to deal with it the correct way. And so, man, there's a difference between solitude and loneliness. There's a difference between being alone because God is trying to do something with you and being alone because you just are upset or depressed or, don't want to deal. There's a difference between that. And so loneliness isolates you, solitude refines you. And there's a difference and there's a time for both of those. And so winter pushes people people into solitude without teaching them how to use it. And so what we're trying to do is,
Give you some tools
to operate during this, most Ohioans would say awful season. But it's just one of those things. We just want to be helpful, and, we're just sharing things that have helped with us. Just the biggest things we've hit on already in the Bible port, we're not necessarily, scripture reading and teaching a full on Bible study here, but just the important things are just to stay in prayer, even when, your feelings aren't in it, keep your prayer life going and, speak truth with emotions, when emotions lie. You got to speak reality, speak faith. I told this to our youth in youth prayer earlier this Wednesday is, even when things aren't going right, you have to speak faith. You can't let negative narratives rule your life. Even if negative things are going on, life and death are in the power of what? Of your tongue.
Right.
You can speak faith into every situation. And, the world and the new agey people call it manifesting. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm speaking about speaking faith into your everyday life. When you speak faith, things change. Things change. Your mentality changes. The way you look at your situation changes. And it's good, man. You got to speak positive. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. And speak truth when your emotions are lying and stay connected to people. You got to stay connected to the right kinds of people. And it was so cool to see so many of those people today, and so cool to, to just trying to, we're finding these tools and we're sharing it as we find it. That's kind of where we're at with this.
So one thing I wanted to kind of point on from a biblical standpoint as well, when it comes to, like we talked about the seasonal depression stuff, Elijah dealt with it. Not necessarily seasonal depression, but a time, 1 Kings 19, where he's just drained. He's just done with everything. He's going through it. And he sits under the tree and he's at his wit's end. And I thought it was really interesting. The first thing is God took care of him physically in that. And that kind of goes with what we were saying.
Yeah.
It's important to take care of your physical well-being. And then God, gave him space to talk through things, helped him regain his feet back up underneath him. And then Elijah, we know is one of the most prolific prophets of the Old Testament. So it happens to everybody. Even strong men of faith go through seasons like this.
Yeah. And you could say the same thing about Job.
Yeah.
A man who did nothing wrong and everything bad happened to him. Anyways, and how he navigated that was pretty much flawlessly.
Right.
And he was blessed 10 times over in the end for maintaining that faith. But that doesn't just happen. That's exercised over time. And so, man, it's important to understand that. Man, we just want to cast our faith and we want to share it with as many people as we can. Fishermen, faith-filled people, outdoorsmen, all the people, man. We're trying to reach so many people with this truth.
Right.
And we're so grateful for all of our listeners and all the people, all the wonderful people that we're meeting throughout this podcasting journey, man. We're so grateful for you. Show up in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. Just as much as we loved connecting with people at the Fishing Expo today, we want to connect with you online. And so comment in the comment section. If what we're saying is hidden, if what we're saying is, if we are truly not being gaslit by ChatGPT, just say something,
Right.
like we appreciate you guys. We're grateful for those of you who show up every week and enjoy our show. And we're here for you guys. It's one of those things, man, where, I guess the heart of this episode is just to understand that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And community is built. It doesn't just happen. You got to do that over time. And we want to be a part of yours, and we want you to be a part of ours. And
I hope this helps somebody today. I think that I think we hit on a lot of stuff that we usually don't talk about.
Yeah.
And I think it's important.
Yeah.
Especially around this time of year.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things where it's totally normal, but it's also this thing that's kind of treated like a pariah for some reason.
Yeah, it's like
not
a weird taboo thing to talk about.
but it's silly.
But it's something we all deal with.
We're all going through something. We're all dealing with something. Talk to somebody about it, in confidence. Obviously, don't just tell everybody anything.
Right.
But as I speak my whole life on this podcast, but it's funny like that we're like that. We're wired that way. But there's no shame in reaching out to people, and we talked about it in a physical sense. Getting your physical body in shape, your spiritual self. An unhealthy spiritual side of you is called carnal. Mm-hmm. We get carnal.
Yeah.
You get carnally minded. You get irritable and angry at every little thing, and you're not spiritually sensitive to things that are apparently around you.
Yeah.
And that are actually happening around you. We talk about discernment in the past. You lose that grip on that when you're carnal. And so the only way to overcome carnality is prayer and fasting and reading your word.
Discipline.
It's that simple. Same thing with your spiritual self. The only way to lose that 20 pounds
physical self
is that what I said?
You said spiritual.
Oh yeah. It's the same with your physical.
I mean, if you need to lose some spiritual weight as well, that carnality, take
that's
it
a whole
off,
nother episode. It's the same. It parallels with your physical self. If you need to lose the 20 pounds, it's going to come by eating right, and
discipline,
sleeping right, and fasting right. And
your flesh doesn't like discipline
on
any level.
It doesn't.
But it's important to have.
Exercise your faith and exercise your body, and you'll feel so much better.
Absolutely.
And stay connected with people. That's the point.
Yeah.
Speaking of the scale, and we're going to move into...
Did you know we didn't go to the moon?
And how do you explain Harvest Moon?
Wait, so Backbone Coffee went to the moon?
No, they didn't go to the moon. They roasted it. Medium dark, notes of caramel, honey, and chocolate.
It tastes like lunar excellence.
Bro, this coffee tastes better than a moon landing filmed in a warehouse.
Well, whether you believe in the moon landing or not, believe in Backbone Coffee's Harvest Moon.
Roasted to order, ships fresh in 2 to 4 business days.
And you can get 15% off with the code Casting Faith.
Backbone Coffee, the Casting Faith podcast.
Fuel the grind.
Question everything.
All right, welcome back. Before we get into the funner parts of our show, we want to shout out Float Buddy. This is not a sponsor of the show, but it's one of these connections that we made at the expo today. Big shout out to Lindsay Callis. You can go follow them on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's Float Buddy LLC. This is such a cool device she was showing us.
Man, I can't tell you how much I thought of you.
This is my people, y'all.
When she was showing us this product. So she went into like the detail of how it works. So what it is, it sticks magnetically to the back of your phone. So if you have the MagSafe iPhone, which a lot of people do nowadays, it sticks back to that directly. And what it does is when you're fishing, when you're on the water, it, I know you've been there. If you are to drop your device into the water.
I mean, I dropped my whole body in the water multiple times. So like stuff gets missing,
Stuff happens.
I've lost about $50-$60 in tackle.
Right.
Ruined a couple phones.
Right. Now, what's nice about iPhones nowadays is a lot of them are waterproof to a certain depth. But the problem is when you're on the river, on the lake, whatever.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
Yeah, and it's hard to reach before it sinks to that unsavable depth.
But what Lindsay was showing us with the Float Buddy was it's this device that sticks to the back of your phone. You can take it off. You can remove it when you're not fishing. But it sticks to the back of your phone. And when it submerges, she said there's a salt tablet that dissolves and inflates a flotation device on your phone. How stinking cool is
and
that?
And it marks where the phone is, and it keeps it above
for 10
that line.
hours, she said.
It keeps it above that, that line of no return. You know what I mean? And you can find it real fast, and you can see it immediately. Like,
so cool.
Oh man! Like sometimes I lose things. I did it today before we recorded. I couldn't find my phone. If only it just had we're not underwater, but like I have a tile and it did not work because my Bluetooth was off. But anyways, I lose stuff all the time, and no worse place to lose it than on the river. So if you're a kayaker or if you're on the boat a lot, this is the perfect thing for you. And again, this is not an ad. They're not a sponsor yet, but we appreciated the connection. She was so sweet and kind to us. We are following them. We want you to go follow them and check them out. Coolest thing ever, though, even though she's not a sponsor, she's giving all of you guys free shipping.
Yeah.
If you use the promo code Casting Faith for this device.
Yeah, free shipping, huge. This is their tagline, their slogan says it all: a lifeline for your lifeline. I love that.
Perfect. Yeah, wonderful.
I mean, it completely depicts what it is. Again, Float Buddy LLC on their socials. Give them a follow, and again, Casting Faith for free shipping.
Yeah, awesome, sweet. It was really nice to meet you, Lindsay. Hope we can come together and collaborate in some cool ways. But show her some love. Get a lifeline for your lifeline. You know what I mean? But let's get into it, man. Overrated, underrated, winter edition. We're like you can't say we're even halfway through it right now.
Right.
Because it's like halfway through it for us is probably the end of February or mid-February.
I don't even want to think about February.
February is the rough one.
It's always so bitter. Hey, bro,
You got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, next week. Time of recording today. I leave for vacation on my birthday, which is next week.
Send him some love.
Get out of that Ohio cold, bitter. I love the Buckeye State. I love where I'm from. I'm very proud to be a Buckeye. But I hate the winter so very, very much. So to get out of that, I'm so looking forward to it. But let's get back to overrated, underrated.
Hey, on a real note, go to our website. You want to buy David a birthday present, you can donate to the Casting Faith website.
Yeah, that's my birthday present. I want you to buy some Casting Faith gear for you, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for you. Rep it in everyday life.
Makes me feel good. When
makes me feel the seasonal depression just floats away. Anyways, Casting Faith, overrated, underrated, winter edition. Dude, let's start with the big one of the day. Do you think fishing expos are overrated or underrated?
So I'm going to be honest with you. Today kind of changed my mind on it because I had been to one major fishing expo before and I was completely let down. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like it was just tackle shops that were selling their overstock or their product that was old and they didn't want anymore. I think. But today kind of changed my mind. It was really cool.
Yeah. I didn't really have an opinion because I've never been to one. But I did notice things about myself when we were there. I think that you really have to have a reason to go.
Yeah.
You're either going for maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, those of you who go all the time, you tell me what I'm wrong about in the comments. But you're either going to spend money or you're going to network. Mm-hmm. And in terms of networking, way underrated.
Yeah.
In terms of buying things, it's like a glorified tackle shop in that place. There's nothing that you can't find. So I think it's underrated all around, man.
Yeah.
So I had a really good time.
Shout out to, I just want to real quick, Death Row, ROE, gave me an awesome breakdown on how to fish beads for steelhead. But yeah, I mean, again, underrated. I would have never gone in there with the expectation of learning fully how to set up and use that like a bead float setup for steelhead fishing, but that was awesome.
Yeah. Yep. This is going to overrated, underrated, our shout outs for this episode. But we got so many of them. We met so many
cool people today.
And so got to look at the booth from Dark Horse Tackle. They followed the show. Man, it was just cool to see these people that, in real life, that have been with us for a little while and, part of our community on Instagram and YouTube and all the things. It was just neat to see. And we're thinking about it. Let us know if we should go. We're thinking about going to the one in Columbus here in a little while.
Yeah.
And so if you think we should go to that, say something in the comments. Maybe we'll try to make the trip happen, make that investment. But it was a good time. So I would say it's underrated.
Yeah, me too.
These expos are underrated. And in fact, I said this is the last one. It was kind of a different thing. Or I said this was my first one. We did go to something this year.
Yeah.
With Jeff.
Very small, but very cool.
But it was, a different vibe. But it was also equally awesome, And so, next topic. Ready?
Yep. Let's hear it.
Forcing yourself to be positive. This is a loaded one. I know this is out there.
So I'm
going to ask you this because for who you are.
Yeah. I'm a very pessimistic person. I am a very much a glass half empty person. But I do think it is very important to look at the positives in things. I think that if I can speak from experience, if you only focus on the negative, the only outcome is going to be negative.
Yeah.
But if you force yourself to be positive and you look at the positives, I think it's important to weigh the negatives still. But if you look at the positives, your outlook becomes so much better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's underrated. I think
it's underrated.
You can control a lot of what you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad things can be happening to you, and you can still be positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I speak that from
100%.
lived experience. You know, anybody who's listened to more than one episode knows that.
Yeah,
and so I think it's underrated. More lighthearted tone. We saw these baits. I think they're called glide baits.
Yeah,
brother. It's not my wheelhouse.
No.
It's not in the realm of possibilities for me. Dude, these were $160 one baits.
We saw one, me and Sean were looking at
Unbelievable.
$190
For one
for
bait.
one lure, one bait. Now, granted,
One
it's
lure.
like...
Who says bait? One bait
Eight.
like that. Ignorant. I'm ignorant. Anyways, I'm ignorant to glide baits. But
it was probably a 12-inch bait.
yeah.
But man, you watch the videos on it, and man, the guys catch some hogs on them.
I don't know.
Some big fish.
Just-
but you're fishing all day for one fish.
My track
and
record.
You need a full setup you need a glide setup. You need a rod. You need a reel. You need the
I
line.
would need a float
and
buddy
then-
for that $160.
Right, I'm slapping the float
bait.
buddy on the bait itself. Like, can you imagine not tying the hook or tying the line that perfect knot? And you cast and it launches into the lake.
You know how many jigs I've lost. You know how many little 2/5 little Cleos that are only $5 I've lost.
The
I've probably
cheapest one
lost
we saw
$20.
was $90.
You know my
If
luck.
you fish glide though, I mean, I'm sure
I
want
to know about it.
Yeah,
tell us about it because I'm ignorant.
But the threshold to entry on that,
Not me, man. I'm gonna say cautiously overrated because man,
I'm sure
Just
it's
the-
fun.
I
I'm sure
might-
it's fun. But
going to a second mortgage just because I lost my glide bait. Anyways, I think overrated personally, but I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. I thought that was just crazy, dude. It's $160 for one lure.
They
That's
look so
wild.
cool,
They
though.
do. It looks so realistic.
yeah,
But we got to see some really cool things there. People self-tying flies on the spot.
Yeah.
A lot of smaller tackle shop businesses that are just handmade everything. That's so cool, man. And you should support people like that. They weren't there. At least I didn't see them. But Chase from Southwest Indiana Outdoors works a lot with Dad Fish Tackle, and they're a company like this. I'm sure they do a ton of expos too. Support small businesses, man. We would definitely take a Berkeley sponsorship. We would definitely take a Bass Pro or a Fish USA sponsorship. But I think it's important to understand, like, you should support small tackle shops, and whether they're online and in person, you should support them because that's where like real connection is made. You know, that's where personal connection is made. And so to all of you guys out there doing that, it was great to see you in action today, and it was great to be able to support you guys. And so I think I guess that would be my next one. Non-mainstream tackle businesses, overrated, underrated.
underrated.
Agreed. Yeah. I feel like we got to change this segment.
They know the local waters.
They do.
They know what the fish are biting on the lakes and rivers around them. Those big companies, while they're good, I don't have anything against any big company.
Yeah.
I think needs to be the opportunity for small business and big business. I think that's very important to the success of our country.
Yeah.
But those guys that are there fishing the water every day, they know what works.
Agreed. Yep. And man, we're grateful for all of them.
Yeah.
And it was so cool, man. We're going to move into last cast. We've been going an hour now. It was such a cool day, man. I'm just
a lot of fun.
thankful. I'm thankful that we got to spend the time together as friends, as co-hosts, as business partners, all the things, man. We had such a good time. One thing that we didn't talk about that we got to talk about is the hot dog shop.
Yeah, man.
Whoo!
So if you know the
Sitting
hot
with
dog
me,
shop in
boy.
Warren, Ohio, one of my family favorites. We all love it.
Oh, man.
But man, it's sitting heavy right now.
I'm surprised you're not hearing the bubbling in my stomach right now. I had 3 chili cheese. We talked about eating healthier, and man, I threw down some chili cheese dogs today and some chili cheese fries and 2 Diet Cokes, and I didn't feel bad about it, boys.
So
I didn't even
good.
feel bad. It's the reality though is I got to get back on that treadmill and
Yes, sir.
get that off of me. We're circling here, but dude, I got on the treadmill. Your boy is pushing 190. I'm 5'6". And to most people, you're going to say, man, I wish I could get to 190. You know, anybody else who's working on the fitness schools. I'm a short person. That's heavy, dude. Like, that's heavy.
I think you're fine, man.
I'm uncomfortably
I think
not
that's
fine.
important though too. I think that you need to
The
understand
size
when your
difference,
body
like-
is telling you that you need to make a change. I think you need to make the change.
I need to make the change. I'm pushing weights that I've never seen before in my life in my 30s.
Yeah.
So I know how this goes because you know my family,
Right.
and you've seen how this trend goes. The older my family gets, the rounder they get, and
That's all of us, man.
oh, bro, I got to make some changes. But them hot dogs were delicious.
Yes, they were.
And I will certainly be working those off this week. And
For a few days, working them off.
something is working in the stomach right now, and so that's a for real thing. Some gut bombs happen, but it was delicious. I will be real with you. They were really good,
Yeah.
and really affordable.
Yeah. I love the hot dog shop out in Warren. The original.
It was fun, man. And so we got to eat. We got to a special food for a special day.
Heavy.
Oh, it was heavy. Like the season that we're in.
Yes.
Just the last cast. Heavy seasons don't mean that God is distant. You need to collab with people. You need
Absolutely.
to have faith in everyday life. You need to practice your disciplines and reach out to somebody if you're dealing with things. And that's
Yeah.
the big goal of this episode, is just to encourage you guys and to share with what we're doing on today and the time that we had. And so we're grateful for every listeners and for all of the new people we met today. We're so grateful for you. If you're finding this show and we met you at the expo, throw a shout out down in the comments section. We're grateful that you're here. We're grateful that you found us, and we're grateful that we had a time to connect today. And to our faithful listeners, we love you. We appreciate you, and we want you to cast faith in everyday life.
Yes, sir.
Like, comment, and subscribe.